doing? I'm just stalling. I'm just, and not for too long. I don't have to stall because there it is, the notification. Probably wondering why I always do that because it lets me know when I'm on. That's why I do that. But welcome, welcome. I'm sorry, my eyes are blurry today. Wow. Okay, but welcome, welcome to Troy Graham Experience. I forgot I left the YouTube on my phone. Hold on a minute. Okay. Well, welcome to the Troy Graham Experience. Daddy's Lounge. Picasso, what's going on, my good brother? Daddy's Lounge number 54. The same age as me. How about that? So, 54 years old, 54 episodes of this show. I got but welcome to Daddy's Lounge, the Troy Graham Experience, Daddy's Lounge number 54. Don't worry, I'm gonna get it right. Practice make perfect. Practice make perfect. I'm gonna get it right. So today's message is self-destruction. No, it's not. Not at all. Not at all. Today, what are we talking about today? There's no perfect way to be a father or a daddy. There really isn't. But there is a right way over time to deliver the message. And that's what came to me today to speak on as best as I could, because a lot of times you go in there and you think, well, the first part of it is easy. Believe me, once you get past the teething, when they start getting their teeth, that's easy. You just have to feed them, keep their attention, bathe them, and burp them and things like that. That's fun. But that teething, every getting late nights and ooh, when the teeth start coming in, Lord have mercy. So let's start from the beginning. Let's start from the beginning. I had three boys, as they like to say, kind of stair step. One right now is 24, one's 23, and the other one is 20. So they're all close in age. Excuse me. The sister, she's a, she's 11 years older. She's 35, so she's way older than them, right? Well, it's a little different with her. I just had to. She was such a fast learner, so I came in her life when she was three. See, my brother man from the fifth floor, three, and I didn't really do anything. I mean, her mother was. I played with her. I wasn't too comfortable with, being around a little 3-year-old girl. Every time I was around her, her mother was around her, her grandmother, a whole bunch of people in her family. I never went to be alone with no 3-year-old girl. No, not my child. I didn't accept her like that yet. So, until later on in life, I started, Mark Nash, how you doing? How you doing? Until later on in life, where she was over a year's time, 4 or 5, and all that. I started getting more comfortable with her, and I would take her to the boxing gym with me and things like that. You know, she'd come around my own family and things like that. I taught her how to ride a bike. I bought her a bedroom set. But as she got older, as little girls do, they challenge you differently from boys. And I didn't have a message for no little girl who was that sharp. It was just like, best way for me to put it, I'm here to help you, but please leave me the hell alone. That was, my message is I gave her books to read, and then I gave her reports to write as she got older, and she hated it. Just like my niece hated it. They both hated it. But you know what they're doing now? One's a nurse, one's a teacher, and they said, well, if it wasn't for you and all them daggone reports you had us write, we probably wouldn't have, been doing this or doing that. But I always told my daughter the same thing. You off that age where you either gonna fly or you're gonna fail. That's it. That was my message. Fly, and don't you ever give up. Don't let nobody tell you you're just TNA. Don't let nobody tell you that. You got a brain. You got one hell of a brain. Don't let nobody tell you that you just, you're just a body. No, you have a brain, right? And that I never once told her you don't need a man or nothing like that. I said you fall back on your faith first. You go to God first, and then you stand strong on your faith, and you go for it. And then when you run out of all options, then you could start looking for help. But don't ever let that be the first thing you do and say, "Here, help me, help me." No, you go no. Go walk your own journey. That was always my message to her. And oh, matter of fact, she did an interview with me on here. This is just way back when I first started this page. But then I taught her how to fight at around 3 years old. And as she got older, she got better and she hit harder. And I taught her how to ride a bike. My grandmother taught her how to read at night. Come home from school one day all mad. The teacher said, I'm not counting right. So my grandma said, tell me what you were counting. She said, one, two, three, four, five, six. The teacher said, it's not tree. But your grandmother had a thick Jamaican accent. And so she adopted my grandmother's accent. and, and that was the message that she got. Like you could do anything. God blessed you with a brain and all of that. Use it and don't quit. Have that will never to quit. Right? So that was that was my message to her. Very simple and plain. Believe in yourself, but don't ever think you here that you doing this all by yourself. Don't get that arrogant. Don't get choked by your own hubris and all that. Don't do that. Don't do that. The boys, on the other hand, because they're so close. Man, I got them on a schedule. I would read my children's Bible to them, and then as I got older with them, I would just teach them things in different ways. Everybody learn how to ride a bike, but I would teach them things in different ways. Like the oldest one, I used the because he's artistic. He didn't. He was the books and stuff weren't his forte, and this right here is. You put him in front of a computer, he'll lock you out of your own computer. That's how sharp his mind is. I used to have to get him. They had the disc back then. You could slide into your computer. So I used to get math, English, and there would be like games you could play to finish the sentence or to finish the equation. And he would knock it out. Like when he was in third grade, he was doing sixth grade math on the computer. But if you give him a book, he'd be like, it's not working because his brain moves so fast. He's creative as heck. He's not dumb. He's just super creative, and he didn't know how to control it. But because his daddy was similar to that, I taught him different ways how to work, and it worked at home. But it's hard to translate that in school. So the teachers kept telling me they're gonna put. I'm like, you're not putting them back. I would literally have to bring this into the school and have the teacher use it, and then she ended up using it on the whole class, and everybody got better with my son's help. But yeah, but they want to put him in some special. No, no, just let him be. You can't teach everybody the same way. You can't. Different message, different damn message. I even had to teach him how to count with my knives and forks. Well, spoons and forks. Because if he can see something and grasp it and touch it, he'll excel. He'll excel, and that's what I figured out. You know. Now the middle one, he was like his sister. His brain was fast too, and you had to keep his attention. You have to keep his attention. I named him Malcolm X. His brother is named after Marcus Garvey. So my spirit said, that's yeah. But Malcolm, on the other hand, was never want to go to sleep. By the time he was 5 years old, He could draw your whole house just by looking at it, and you would think that a professional artist did it. He's gifted, but problem with gifted children is that they don't. They're so high strung. They're so high strung, man, that you don't know what to do. So I had to put them to. I made my mind up. I can't put them all to bed at the same time because this boy, my first son, I got him to go to bed at 8 o'clock every night. I would read to him. Boom, he was gone. His brother, if I put him in the same room while I'm trying to put his brother to, if I put Malcolm in the same room with my son Marcus, they'll never go to sleep. So one was 8 o'clock, one was like 8:30. But I had to take him for a ride in the van and let the cool air hit him, and then he'll fall asleep. Which almost got me arrested one night because I didn't put him in the wheelchair. In the wheelchair, I'm sorry, in the car seat. I held him, and we was just driving around the community. Which really, I didn't go nowhere. About half a block from my house, I was still in the neighborhood, and I got stopped by the police. Luckily, it was a good cop, and he said, "Brother, I understand what you're trying to do, but I'm getting off." They were changing shifts, so he was like, "Get in the house, man, because the partner that's coming now, he's anal." And in plain words, he said, "He's not like us. He's not one of us," was his words, and he will lock you up. So I timed it every night when made sure, brother, you well instead of driving out of my parking lot, I stayed in my parking lot and I drove up and I drove down from the apartment. So even if he stopped me, he can't say I was on the road. And that's the only or I would go outside with this boy and just put him in the car and act like I was driving. I held him in the front seat and that cop still came and bothered me even though I was in the parking spot. In my parking spot in my apartment complex. He told me, "We got to go in the house." I'm like, "Why?" I'm just saying, trying to put my son to sleep. I'm not moving. This is how I got to do it with him. I'm not moving. And he just gave me the blues. But now the youngest one, he picked up stuff fast. He picked up stuff because he has older siblings. So it's just naturally that because they were around, he was able to pick up stuff. What is the word for that? It's nature. No, it's nurture or nature is one of them. Well, it's nature because they all are, same parents and all that. So it's nature. Nurture is something else. But anyway, the younger one walked faster than all of them, held the bottle faster than all of them. He excelled in school faster than all his siblings. And then when they got older, I had to find a different message. And I messed up on that part. I'm not even gonna lie. I was a good parent, but no, but not great. Who is great? You should be training kids to solve problems. Okay, I agree with that. I don't know who's great at being a father. I really don't. But as they got older, I realized how they were far apart, but they all, okay, my three sons, when they were real little, I got a four-bedroom house, right? So everybody had their own room. His sister had moved out, got her own place. She was going to nursing school. She was staying with her auntie. So all three of them Bama's had their own rooms. You know what they did? They all slept in the bunk bed in the big room. All of them. Everybody had their own room, but they didn't want to leave each other. Even when they got older, like they were 11, 12, and 9. What those Bama's do? Sleep in the same room. Different personalities. Well, when it came together, they came together. So I said, I have to get one of them on my side. So you're saying, Troy, you made your son a snitch? Don't say that. That didn't happen. That didn't happen at all, man. But you know, hold on a second. I'm expecting someone to pop in here. If he pops in, he pops in. But that But that didn't happen. It's just that instead of what I told them very plainly is that there are no favorites here. So very plainly, I told them if I shit on one of you, I'm gonna shit on all of you. But that's not right. Well, would you rather me just pick one of you as my favorites and just well, that ain't right either. I know that wasn't the best message, but I didn't play favorites. I just didn't. That was my message to him. I don't play favorites. All of you are equal in different ways. And so what we start doing was I just had to come up with ways to get all three of their creative minds to work in sync so I could get some sleep. So every night we were on schedule at 8 o'clock, right? Once they got older, we read Psalms 23. We read the Lord's Prayer, and then I played Nas. Uh, I know I can every night, or I would play Dr. Hart Ramsey and John P. Keith. God's up to something good. And those songs would play as they went to sleep, right? God, you could check that out on YouTube. It's John P. Keith, right, and Dr. Hart Ramsey. So I think Pepper does the rap in that song. It's a good song, but they all knew they had to read. One of them would read the Lord's Prayer halfway, and the other one would finish it, and then the last one would read all of Psalms 23 by himself. Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I fear no evil. You know that. So yeah. And then I would switch it. Yeah, that's how I always told them the same thing over and over. Don't quit. Don't quit. You just have to believe in yourself. You're all gifted, but in different ways. And don't you ever leave your brother behind. But like I said, my message didn't always come out so calmly. You know, it didn't. Sometimes I was so weak from what I was dealing with that I couldn't even. I I made them take their clothes out early at night, but they'd have to walk themselves to school, which, they 12, 11. That's a 5-minute walk. They cool. But most days I was always there. Yeah, that too. I had them talk. We talked a lot. We talked a lot before we went to bed and so forth and so on. Yeah, you're right about that, Casso. I definitely did that. So let me just text this brother to see if he's still coming on. Hey, brother. I mean, hold on a second, brother. Yeah. So I'm talking as I'm rude like that, right, brother? So yeah, what I would do is coming on. So what I would do is if they had a problem, uh, I saw them start to fidget. One of them would be fidgeting, fidgeting. Then finally, they would pick one of them to be the leader, which was usually my middle son, and he'd be like, "Daddy, we got to talk to you because you were wrong about something you did the other day." Like what? They always did that after they ate. They were smart. they they seemed to get more more empowered the more I fed them, right? They were smart enough to know not to talk to me before they ate dinner. But uh so he sat down and talked to me like, Dad, you didn't give us a chance to talk last time. You just got mad and broke our game and did it, or Dad, you know, you spanked so and so and you didn't even hear what we had to say. When did I do that? And these suckers will remember stuff. Mind you, they 12, 11, and 9. So they will remember, and I'll be like, I did that? Yeah, Dad. You having one of them days when you know you were just having a bad day, and then we got in trouble at school, or one of us got in trouble at school, and you just mad, and you didn't even give us a chance to say out and talk. You just put us to bed. You told us to eat dinner, go to bed. We didn't read. We didn't do nothing, and you yelled at us and all that stuff. And I was like, okay. And I was said to them, what would you like me to do about that? Well, you always said if someone's wrong, that they should apologize. I said, oh, you want an apology? Okay, well, did you apologize for not doing it? I said I was sorry, but I made them pay for it first. I said, you apologize for the food you ate? They looked at us and what you talking about, Dad? Did you apologize for not taking out the trash? Daddy, it's late. You don't want us going to the back alley. I said, no, I'll be there. I said, did you apologize for not doing the dishes? It's not my time to. Oh, no, no, I don't want no excuses. They said, Daddy, come on, man, we being serious. A 12-year-old telling me he's being serious. 12-year-old telling a 40-year-old that he's being serious. Come on, man. So I said, okay, I'm sorry. That is human. I'm human. I had a bad day, man. I just had a bad day. I'm sorry that that happened, but and that we have these moments where we could talk. I mean that because a lot of times your dad will just shut down or just fly off the handle sometimes and yell, and nothing works that way. Even now, when they got older, like when my middle son got his girlfriend pregnant, I was the first person that came and told. He was like, no, he told his mama first. Let me not lie. He told his mom first. And then he said, I said, why didn't you come? Well, I'm glad you're talking to me, but why didn't you at least tell me first? I mean, what's up? I thought you would be angry at me because you always told us we shouldn't have kids till we get married and to use protection. I'm like, yeah, well, you didn't do any of that. So long and short of it with these messages, because it sounds like I'm just a run-on sentence, I think. But you have to get to know your children to know how to talk to them. A lot of people say, I just beat them. Well, I didn't. I did spank my kids, but that doesn't work. That works up to a certain age. Aggression will give you aggression back. But you know what gets their attention? Purposeful intelligence. Make it make sense to them. Make it make sense to them. Something they can't even question. Like, Dad, I'm hungry. And I'll say, okay, did you look in the fridge to get something to eat? You see how I look now? That's how they look. Oh, well, you didn't tell us we. No, but you hungry. Why do you need to come tell me you're hungry and I'm laying down? Is there ever not food in the fridge, in the cabinets? That's one thing I made sure we had toilet paper and food. I said, what's the significance of toilet paper? You try and wipe your ass without toilet paper. But I made sure we had toilet paper and we had food. That's it. Yeah. I had to, but like I told them when I speak to them now, they're all young adults. I feel like, it was more that I could have done. And like, no, no, no. A lot of, we caused you a lot of problems and they all apologized at different times and it meant something. But they all said the same things. If we all surprised you didn't leave. I said, yeah, damn it, me too. Because your dad was getting weak. I couldn't keep dealing with y'all. Y'all all taller than me, and now y'all bigger than me. I'm like, couldn't keep it up. And one of them told me the best thing I've ever heard. Always remember this in life. He said, Dad, I was uh I was in the car with some friends of mine, and they wanted to go do something. and then they came to pick me up, but I said, "No, I'm not going." And they said, "Why, man? You gonna make some money, right?" And they said, "Nah." He said, "Nah." I hear my father's voice in my head. I can't go. I can't go. I hear my father's voice in my head. So he didn't go. How about that? You know. So yeah, man. But those are things I'm always gonna cherish right there. I'm always gonna cherish that he didn't get in that car because all his friends ended up getting in trouble. All went all went to the big house for a little bit. The big house. Oh my goodness. Yeah, they all had to be sat down for a little bit, Set their asses down just for a little bit. But it's different messaging, man, because after a while they might go silent to your voice, but once you say something that means something to them, they'll trust me, it'll sink in and it won't go away. After a while, I just got tired of talking. I got tired of talking. I'm sorry, I'm answering a text. Yeah, I do that a lot. I do that a lot. So yeah, but things happen, man. And what am I trying to say? That's why you shouldn't text while you want doing a podcast. I had to slow myself down and tell myself that one size doesn't fit all. I had three boys I was dealing with. I already dealt with their sister. Remember, she's 11 years older than than her than her younger than their brothers. So sometimes when she speaks, even without knowing it, she throws my own words back at me. Not in the sense that I told you so, no, but she repeats it to her own children, and she catches herself like, I sound just like you. Yeah, something worked. Yeah, something worked. Hey, doesn't want the show. But yeah, that's funny when your children get older and have their own children, and they tell you like they talking to them. They like you need to pay attention to school and don't do X Y Z, and then they catch themselves like, wow. You know how many times I heard that? You got to go to bed on schedule, and oh my gosh. But you know what? I take this into account now that I'm older. I had to learn how to listen because I have a creative mind, so I was never the one to sit still. I had to try what I had to try, and it cost me some broken bones. It cost me time loss and things like that, right? But what it also did, excuse me, was teach me lessons because it must have been preparing me to deal with these three. Because almost everything they did, I did something similar. A lot of things they did, I didn't do. And they were super protected by their prayers because they were messing around out there in Baltimore, and that ain't a place you want to mess around, right? But what it is that you were you were given a message so that you can have something to say to them, and don't lie to them. Even if it doesn't make you look good, it makes you look good when you tell them the truth. Because I don't lie to them. I do not lie to them. I won't lie to them ever. You know. So yeah, never ever ever Not gonna do that. But what do I? You know, I hope I don't know if I made any sense about the message, but everybody gives off different energies, and they'll show you how to deal with them. Because I don't. None of this comes from a book. That's why I sound so human, and I'm kind of here and there when I speak, because that's exactly what I am. Everything comes from your spirit. When it comes from your spirit, you don't have time to place, write it down. When it hits you, hits you. When it hits you, you feel no pain. That's Bob Marley. So when it hits you, and then you want to release it. So how it comes out, right? Right. And one of these days, man, God bless, God willing, I'm gonna have all three of them right here, the three sons, and I'm gonna get their sister on too. It'll be great. Have all four of them come on at once. We don't have to be in the same house for that. As long as they get on, and then they can tell you stories. Matter of fact, if you want to see one of the interviews, just type in the Troy Graham Experience uh, father and son interview. I think that's the title of it. You'll see two of them will probably pop up. One with my youngest son with his hair all over the place. One with my middle son. He has on a tank top in the car. And then you might see one with all four of them on the thumbnail, but it's just their sister and the niece I told you about. But you have to fast forward all the way to like maybe the 36-minute mark, because something happened where I didn't even realize I wasn't recording until then. So yeah, you get to see what her thoughts are, what her demanding self. But yeah, I'm hanging around because there's this good brother I know that I sent. He just talked to me on Monday, said he was coming. So hopefully he'll come. If knowing him, if he doesn't show up, there's a there's a good reason why he's not coming. I definitely know that for a fact. Brother's a good brother, man. A very good brother. Because if he don't show up, I definitely know that there's a good reason why. I'm sorry. I'm texting again. Interesting. Yeah. Okay, so yeah, I'm not telling you who the brother is, but I'm definitely gonna get him on here. His story inspired me to reach out to him. He was on somebody else's podcast. I didn't even reach out to that person to get to him. I simply did my due diligence, and I got the brother, and I'm gonna get him on my show. I had him on before. I'm gonna get him on again. Yes, yes, yes. His story is so ridiculously inspiring. If it don't make you cry, it'll move you to do something. And that's don't be like, well, you cry all day, every day. Why not? Yeah, man, I do. Hey, crying ain't nothing but cleansing your soul. A very wise man told me that. Crying ain't nothing but cleansing your soul. So sometimes you need that. And there I am again. I'm sorry. I'm trying to do something. I'm trying to multitask. Is what I'm trying to do. Okay. Well, somebody just answered me. That's a brother I used to talk boxing with, but he's also a life coach. I'd be interested to hear his thoughts. He told me a funny story once. He said, I always told him, you might just, that I believe in you, go ahead and do it. And then he finally Kept hearing my voice echo in his head, so he went ahead and did it. And now he's a life coach. It's a beautiful thing, man. I need that voice in my head sometime, a little kick in my behind. Say, you can do it. You can do it. Now, if y'all didn't watch Happy Gilmore, you won't get that reference. It's very funny. It's just not funny when I say it. But yeah, I'm interested in hearing other people's stories. Because sometimes you're wondering, well, why you only do half an hour shows or 45-minute shows? Because I don't like talking to myself. That's why. What's that got to do with me crying, man? Huh? What, you gonna console me? What? I get what you're saying. I still don't know why you told me that story, but I get it. Yeah, but I think I'm gonna hang around till maybe 7:30. If brother don't show up, he don't show up. I'm having a good time today. Then I got to get up. All this week, I got doctor's appointments. All this first time ever, I had to go 5 days a week. Doctors telling me we don't understand why you're so beautiful at 54. We need to run some tests on you because you're entirely too beautiful at 54. That's what she told me. You got to find. Oh man, I did. I did. I did. I did. I'm an off and on guy, man. I date, and it's a lot of layers. People call them walls. I guess I have. It's hard for me to put down my wall, but I heard something today. Picasso from someone. They said if you're too afraid to open up, how will you ever love? Now, I should know that. As simple as that sounds, I should. And that's an interesting thought. I don't open up all the way, not to anybody. No one can say that I ever have. No one, I don't. Last person I opened up to was really their mother. And we were together for a good 21 years or something like that. Is that right? Let's see. 20 would be 12. Yeah, 21. 21 years. So yeah. And then I said no more. Then I was Mr. In and Out. I was being somebody I wasn't supposed to be. Mr. Revolving Door. Meet them, greet them, let them free. Meet them, greet them, let them free. Meet them, greet them, eat them, sheet them, let them free. It was just like that. Boom, 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 boom. I didn't even realize I was doing that to one of my cousins. Was like, you need to slow down, man. What's going on with you? That's not you. Is it? Hmm. But that energy is gone now. And trust me, if a good Lord can get me through all this, He's gonna find me my one, not a one, but my one, and that's all I want. It's just my one. I've been with some beautiful women, man, but right now I just want the one. And you say, well, how you ever gonna meet the one if you keep walls up? Well, who's to say the walls won't come down when we finally meet? Okay, what's almost 54? You 53, 52? Where are you? I'm getting a calendar because I'm not trying to put all this stuff on. Yeah, that's something else I miss. That writing stuff down. I became the person I never wanted to be, and that's you know putting everything in the phone. I used to have a little pocket book, a little not a pocket book, a notebook I kept in my pocket. Cut it out. So yeah, right. and I'm getting back to writing stuff down. I have a calendar on the refrigerator. That's how I keep a track of all my appointments, plus what I have in the phone. But I want to get off that. I have books here now, the spiral books, and which I don't like, and I have the old school notebooks. I write all my every time I come up with a quote, every time I have an appointment, I write it down in the book. Right, all the contacts that I have with all the boxes you see me interview, they're all on hard copy now because my phone got messed up and I lost a lot of contacts. You'd be surprised. You'd be surprised, man. But you're right about that. I got to get out of the phone. I think most people do. Go back to writing. I don't know. I don't know when his birthday is. I know mine was the 16th of this month, so I don't know when his is. But look, you tell me when your birthday is, and I'll have Tyson Fury come see you. I'll have Tyson Fury give you a call. All right. Okay, I'll have Tyson Fury give you a call. Is that cool? Yeah, brother. Appreciate it. I appreciate it. This birthday meant a lot to me, man. Meant a lot. Yeah. I just got a text. I think somebody said I'm trying to see about jumping on, but it's acting up. So now he's texting me and all that. Did you nah? You on the okay, hold on. He says StreamYard is acting up. I don't know, man. I gotta find another way of logging on then. The StreamYard, because a few people have said that. Well, that's the only way he can be. Right there. Smooth cat right there. All right, smooth cat. What's this? What's it? Let me do this. Okay. Yeah. I just text him again, even though brother's right there. Thanks for stopping. Thanks for popping on, smooth cat. I appreciate it. But yeah, sure. I believe that before I hit 55, I'll find that one that's written in the book of life for me, Picasso. I really believe that. I could easily go out here and just date, which I have. Now, I don't think that I haven't, but I'm not that type of guy. Really? All right, let me just send you the link. All right, this is wrong. Oh, here it is again. It's just telling them how to. It's not letting them join. Wow. Okay. No, I'm gonna get a fresh one. And I'm sending. I'm gonna see if I can send you another link there, brother, and see if you can jump on that way. 'Cause I have no idea what's going on. Yeah, let me get that fresh link for you and send it to you. Maybe that'll work. It's crazy. Can't build. Yeah, I don't even know why I did that. Don't worry, I'll fix that. I know I'm not talking again. I hate when I do that too. No, 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 that's not your name on here. All right. I'm trying to fix something. I'm up here twice. I'm trying to fix something. All right, now allow me to exit myself off here. First of all, I can't hear myself again, but I'm going to travel and enjoy different. Yeah, that's exactly what I want to do. Courting is better than dating. What's the difference, Smooth Cat? Check your phone. I just sent you the link, so hopefully you could get on there with that. What's the difference between courting and dating? It's interesting. I've never heard that. I've always heard they were the same thing. What's the difference? Oh, well, you're courting to get married. You're dating just to get to know the person. Okay, I get it. You see how fast I figured it out? You might be Smooth Cat, but I'm Truth. Thorough, rhythmic, unnerving, tearful hymn. Don't ask me to repeat that. I just made it up. Yeah, I made it up about 20 plus years ago. So, if Smooth Cat and the other brother don't jump on, I'm going to bounce out of here in a few minutes. Go wash these dishes, wash up, and get ready for my Uber in the morning. I'm gonna go into my settling settings and open my camera. Dating is sparring to see where you. Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay, the other brother said he's moving, so he won't be able to jump on. But yeah, it'll be another time. Be another time. Would you say dating is sparring to see where you're at? I don't know about that. It's just you getting to know that person, man. When you court someone, it's a little bit. I see what brother's saying. It's a little bit more. It's more or less. mm, Much respect. Much respect. Hey, yeah, dating is more or less when you're looking into something serious. That's courting. Courting. I'm sorry, courting. Dating is just when you're trying to find the right person or something like that. Oh, Smoke Cat. I didn't even see you, brother, at the stage. What's going on, brother?
Yeah, nothing much chilling. What's going on with you?
Oh, I'm good. You know what? Let me turn the volume. The volume was down low the whole time. I'm surprised everybody can hear me. Go ahead and say something else.
You said what now?
There you go. No, no, no. I had my volume down on my tablet. I didn't realize it was so low.
Okay. So now I see the title of your show. It says about you. Hold on, let me go back to it. There's no perfect way to be a father, but there is a right way to deliver a
The,
message.
the message, yeah, or your
Okay.
message, yeah,
I
yeah. That
mean,
was.
it's kind of funny that you would mention that, right? Because that's basically that's a biblical principle there. Like the word tells us that you have to like there's a time and a place for everything, a season for certain things. So that's kind of in alignment with that.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
Okay. Well, go ahead and break that down because you said you gave us a little bit of it, but break it down.
Oh, let me see. Hold on. Look. Now you gonna make me have to open the book. Yeah.
Gotcha. No.
No, but
Yeah.
where did it go? Ecclesiastics. It should be right here. There we go.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, here we go. For everything there is a season, a time for every activity under heaven, a time to be born, a time to die, a time to plant, and a time to harvest, a time to kill and a time to heal, a time to tear down and a time to build up, a time to cry and a time to laugh, So basically, like it's saying that like there are appointed times for everything. So like in regards to like talking with the younger generation, I think the biggest disconnect that a lot of us have with them is that we you get so accustomed to the way that you normally handle things, and you expect them to gravitate to what to our way of doing things, and sometimes it's not that they're not built that way, so you have to find a different way to kind of communicate with them because again like it's five different ways that you can shave a cat, but if you try to shave every cat the same way, you're not gonna get the same results. You're gonna get slapped by a few of them. Few of them gonna spit on you. You're gonna get different things. So with
Hmm.
people, it's the same way. Like there's not one way to get across to everybody, but there is a way that you can get across to everybody by being versatile and being able to adapt to the situation.
Mm. It makes sense to me because that's what I've been talking about for the past almost an hour. That it's not one size fit all.
Right.
At least when it comes to your message to the children, to the children, right? Well, your children.
Absolutely.
It's not one
Well,
size fit all. You know,
now, for
because
me, I don't have children right now.
okay.
I don't have
Hmm.
children yet, but like with dealing with the youth, I do notice that it's certain type of it's certain perspectives. Like some of them are more open to wisdom. Others of them they have to get to a point to where they're willing to hear the wisdom that you may present, and they have to be open to accept it. So like it's a time thing, and it's about maturity. Sometimes they could be at a place. Look, you know how it was when you was younger. You about somewhere between 15 to 18 years old. You thought you knew everything, and even though you don't know nothing, but you thought you knew everything.
Invincible, yeah, yeah. You're invincible when you get to 15, 16, 17. You're invincible. Yeah.
Right, man. Look, you be feeling like, oh,
Huh?
like me. No, I said you get to the point you be like, oh, I know this, and everybody saw this, and I did that, so I know everything. Like, no, you don't know everything. Be humble in that. But again, in a world in a generation that's built on feeling like being the loudest in the room is important,
Hmm.
that's kind of what I believe hinders the process of a lot of kids because they're taught that humility is a bad thing, and being able to communicate and expressing who you are and what's going on within you, that's always labeled as a bad, especially for men. Oh, you got to be a rock all. No, you do not have to be a rock all the time.
Well, listen, I see you, bro. I see you, brother. I see you, Picasso. If you want, you could jump on the panel and join the discussion. We're back to talking about the actual thumbnail. So if you want, you could always jump on, or you could stay in the chat. But probably be better if you jump on. But when I found out, because I raised four young adults, right?
Hmm.
You could say six. Well, but yeah, because their cousin, he's 28, and their uncle is the same age as their sister, right?
Okay.
So basically, different. Just I had to figure out how to get in how to get in tune with all these people because they weren't listening. Let's just go back. Let's just stay on my sons, right?
Okay.
So they right now they're 24, 23, and 20, right?
Hmm.
So after a while, I realized I can't say the same message to all three of them all the time. I have to figure them out,
Hmm.
right? Figure out how they learn, figure out how to approach them. One of them, the middle one, he always acted so tough, but he's a real loving child. And he's super creative, so he needs more attention than he's gonna let you know about, right?
Yeah.
And the oldest one, he's artistic, so he's super compassionate, right?
Hmm.
So he needs attention too, but he also wants to give. He's a giver, right? What you have to do with him is let him know, listen to your heart and your mind, and don't always give yourself away to people because you'll get taken advantage of, right?
Mm.
Give yourself to something that has meaning and that could help somebody. Perfect example. His teacher set him up in the school garden, and after a while, he got so good he was teaching other people. Right?
Right.
They set him up in the food bank. He excelled at that. Well, he was coming to the food bank to help me out, so he learned from there. But he excelled at it because he liked helping people. Basketball, he played on a team. He was the rebounder, so they just told him get under the basket, run from end to end, get it. And he started grabbing so many rebounds. The other teams started hearing about him and fouling him, end up breaking his two of his fingers, right?
Mm.
And the youngest one, very insightful. He follows his middle brother because he thinks he's strong, but the oldest son is the strongest son.
Okay.
He just yeah. The youngest one thinks the middle one's strong because he's a fighter and he'll jump out there. But when he needs somebody to talk to, he goes to his older brother.
Hmm.
You know, yeah. So, but that's why I said it's it's no perfect way to do this fatherhood thing, but there is a right message once you take the time to because people. There's also the factor of that you're a human being too, so you're gonna make mistakes. You're gonna make mistakes. Just don't stay in your mistakes. You don't have to live in them. Kind of like that football terminology. They say, you gotta look past your last interception and just go. You gotta forget about it. You know,
Right. Because if you do, I'm sorry.
no, no, go ahead, brother. Go
No, I
ahead.
was gonna say because if you dwell on your mistake and your mistake is the main thing that you have that you're presented and that's all that you're looking at, that's all you are going to that's what you're going to begin to fixate your mind on. So now you in this you kind of like a hamster inside of the cage, constantly running
Hmm.
up and down on that thing and you ain't going nowhere all day because you're stuck in the same place.
Right, 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 right,
So
right.
I think a good thing, like at least to teach young men is always to tell them to be accountable for what you do. And when I say accountable, I don't mean that false accountability, where it'd be like, oh my bad. No. Look, just like you went out there and did whatever you did, be willing to step forward and be like, you know what? I did this. This was my mistake.
Uh,
I did this. I will agree to it. I'm not gonna hold back on it. This is exactly what I did and let the cards fall how they may, but be willing to be open and be transparent about it instead of all the excuses or I did it because of no, 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 no. Just bring it forth. And that's like I said, I
hold,
think a big shift.
hold,
Go ahead.
mhm. Hold on one second for me, brother Ronald. I see you. I'm trying to bring you on, but it's telling me that you got to edit your name. I don't know what it means by that. I tried even saving your name so I could bring you up, but it's telling me to edit your that you have to edit your name. You ever had that happen when someone's trying to come up on your panel and it said to edit their name?
You talking to me?
Yes, I'm talking to you now. Yes, your brother. Yeah.
Depending on now, if it's a vulgar name, they probably will tell
No,
you to edit
it
it.
just says
But if
Ronald
it's something
Green.
regular,
Yeah, it just says Ronald
oh yeah,
Green.
mm,
Yeah, because it happened with my
I
cousin
don't know.
too.
I don't know. Like a lot of these sites they get a little glitchy at times.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
I don't know about that. Because
yeah.
look, if my name is
Mhm.
Smoothcat, I'm shocked they wouldn't make me put my actual name on there.
Yeah, because you know what, and you see what I have on here is long, the Troy Graham Experience. So but I had two of my cousins on here, and one of them got on, and one of them I had on the phone simply because she put a professional name, Doctor So and So, right? And it
Yeah.
went, and they said I had to edit it. I'll jump online after this and figure it out. I don't know what's going on. Yeah, I don't know, but go ahead. You were right in the middle of saying something because I was trying to help Ronald to jump on the panel.
Oh no, no. I was just saying like the one thing that I have kind of picking up around the younger generation, and I have these conversations, and you don't want to come across like you're attacking them. You
Mm-hmm.
just want to come from a perspective because again, like it's not kind of like your title say, there's a right way to deliver the message, right? So if I'm
Right.
coming at them and I'm like, hey man, all you do is mess up, and I'm like pointing at them, now at this point now you're defensive. But if I come to you from a genuine perspective, like, okay, look, this is what's going on. You need to clear this up and clean this up because again, you you said this is the type of man that you want to be. So if this is the type of man you want to be, then you have to be willing to take accountability for what you did, and to at times you need mentors in your life who are going to sit there and help you on this journey because hey, none of us got nowhere far without nobody helping.
No, you don't do anything by yourself. You don't do anything by yourself. You might make a decision, but that's not by yourself. Something's leading you in that direction. You have to follow that feeling and then just be bold enough to be guided. If you stay quiet, I've learned this coming up. You s- you stay quiet enough, you'll get the information you want. But if you're the only voice you hear, then how you gonna guide yourself?
Right. And that's kind
Hmm.
of like like you remember the old school saying that they would tell you about I know a lot of black mothers used to mention this. They would be like, "Oh, that's like you going out there listening to your friends. That's the blind leading the blind."
Yeah, man. I'm way older than you. I remember.
No, but just check those
Hmm.
situations like and just think about that. Like imagine like I mentioned earlier, how kids. Well, I know when I was a teenager, I thought I knew everything, and
Mm.
the benefit of me thinking I knew everything was that to a brick wall. I had to get faced with the issue that I did not know everything, and so
Okay.
that allowed me to be humble.
Hmm. Yeah, I mean, tell you that's what these children here had to learn because they were hanging with some friends, and once they got old enough and they went through whatever they went through. These are my sons now, right? They came back to
Hmm.
talk to me, and they were telling me that one friend is locked up, the other one is locked up. Just everybody locked up. And I said, okay, well, tell me what they didn't have that you had. And he said, well, none of them had a father. Their fathers weren't in the house, and their fathers weren't around. Hmm. I said, is that so? Hmm. And he said, yes, that's so. That is so.
And
So.
now that's another issue there too, because like you say,
Hmm.
the father is needed in the household.
A different voice, yeah, definitely needed. Yeah,
And,
and
and like I say, like just like I notice a lot of young men, they talk about how, oh man, it's like my mama try to press up on me and this. So the thing
hmm
is, the reason why she presses up on you is because like if she in a situation where the man ain't there, she's having to in her mind. Now she can't fulfill both roles, and I don't mean that from a bad perspective, like she won't put an effort for it or that she won't try. But that's not it. That's not what she wasn't made to try to fulfill both roles of a man and a woman. That's
just
why it's
like
so
yeah,
hard.
just like when the father's not made to do both roles either.
Right? Absolutely.
Hmm. Yeah,
Because
just real quick, brother. Picasso. That was me. I have to get my. Oh, Ronald, that's you. Okay, he's just telling me that was him trying to jump. Yeah, you didn't do nothing wrong. It did the same thing to my cousin when she jumped on here, telling me I had to edit her name. I don't know what to do with that. So I don't know if we friends on Facebook or anything, because I could send you the link there and see if maybe it'll make a difference. But yeah, she just couldn't pop on, and that's what happened with him. But go ahead, brother.
no, I was just saying. Look, I forgot what I was saying. So look, you go ahead.
Well, okay. Well, let me switch up the subject real quick, just to add a little brevity, as they say, or levity, however you want to put it. Uh, did you see the fight? The fight in the UK.
Autonomy.
Hmm.
You talk about autonomy and your boy White.
Hmm.
Yeah, I saw that.
What did you think overall? Give me your honest answer, and I'll give mine.
Honestly, what it looked like, it looked like it looked like Dillian. It looked like he had the he was told, "Hey, look, go out there." Don't get me wrong. Now, Tommy is skilled, but it looked like Dylan White was like, "Look, I want this check, and I want to be out of here."
Really?
To me,
No. You know what I saw? One, he kept his left hand down, which I don't understand why he fighting a southpaw. Uh, that was one, right? And then secondly, he was bending over and he went to throw a left hook, and this is Dillian, right?
okay,
Because Dillian's 6'4", Atomo was 6'4.5". So you leaning over to throw a left hook, Atomo comes over the top with his right hook and clips him on the temple. He wobbles around, he goes down. He should have just taken an 8 count, but he didn't. He got up kind of early, and then he pulled himself up, but then he stumbled into the corner. Even though his eyes were clear and everything else, the ref felt, well, he can't continue. But if you look into his eyes, he was clear. What would have happened if he would have the fight would have continued? We never know. But he lost. That's just something if I was him, I would David Juzora said he wanted to fight him. So D- Dillian is smart guy. If I was him, I would come over here and I would get Eddie and I would talk to Prince Turkey, right? And I would
right.
say, well,
Wait, you
put
gonna talk
me
to who?
Prince Turkey, Turkey Rashid,
Oh,
Turkey.
you know what? I'm gonna tell you the funny
Hmm.
part. Now, I still love boxing, but a lot of the politics of it, how they do now, I don't. Man, I don't be knowing many of them names no more. Now I'll be like,
Oh, well,
yeah, whatever.
Yeah, Turkey's a guy that's putting on a lot of fights. So I would talk to Turkey and then Eddie and say, look, let's do this fight. Me against Chisora for the last time, because for some reason, people in the UK want that, right? Wilder versus Big Baby, because, he always said he slept with Wilder's wife, right? And
Wait a
then
minute.
you could,
Wait.
huh?
If you gonna put, look, why not have a battle with the big baby?
Well, because that ain't gonna sell, because nobody really knows who the other Big Baby is, and Big Baby Miller's never done anything for anybody to know him.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay. So,
yeah,
look,
he's
I'm just looking at the comment section. It says, that's what I was saying about the mother trying to play both roles. Okay, I got it.
okay. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's the brother. Yeah, that's Picasso. But yeah, and also White and him have a serious grudge. They're real serious about that grudge, right? So, Dillian Chisora, White, Wilder, the same card. Then on the same card, you could put Joshua against the Juggernaut. I can't remember that brother's name, but he's the first one to beat the boys, and then he got stopped by Zilly Zhang twice. And
Joe Joyce.
yeah, Joe Joyce against Joshua. So then whoever wins out of them three, they could fight. And if everything goes the way I anticipated, Joshua will be the big cash out for whoever ultimately wins. He'll be there waiting for the cash out fight, and everybody will go home with some money in their pockets and still have their legacy. Because those
Okay.
fights will sell in the UK. They will definitely sell in the UK.
Mm,
America,
agreed.
yeah, because see, in America they don't build fights anymore. They just build fighters. And how do you build fighters if you only fight once a damn year?
Hey, wait. s- Speaking of fighters from America, did you see
Mm.
this news that's supposed to broke today?
What?
Tank Davis supposed to be fighting Jake Paul.
I thought he was retiring.
No, they according to them, they supposedly made it's supposed to be a deal where they supposed to be fighting each other November 11th.
Who? Him and
Jake
who?
Paul versus Tank.
If he does that, he'll look like the biggest sucker in the world because he's supposed to fight Roach. Cause see, look,
Hmm.
okay, this is me. I'm a fighter. I don't. Yes, I want the money too, right? But I'm not leaving Roach out there with all them questions left unanswered. I'm not gonna do it.
Now,
I'm not
see,
gonna do it.
I think the way it is now, at least at least what I've been seeing with Tank, and I mentioned this a while ago. Now, Tank is a solid fighter overall. I said the one thing what I noticed about him is just like he got this. How do I say it? He has this mindset that he has, like he's made it already, and so he has what I would call the Hollywood.
Yeah,
You win your big fight or two, and now you Hollywood. So I think Tank is again, like still Tank is still one of the better fighters at 135. But I think the thing with Lamont Roach is I think Lamont Roach, this may be kind of like a part two to kind of like how Tarver was that no matter what Roy Jones would do, Tarver would is always going to give him up of problems. And it's
right.
just like some dudes just got your number like that.
But the question I ask is how do we know how good any of these dudes are? Because the only ones there right now is Tank. Uh, who's the brother that's out of Virginia? Who's supposed and he got two brothers. They always fight. He's a champion too. He's out of Virginia. Is in the same weight class as Tank, I believe. And then the Shakur. What's his name, man? Anyway, I can't remember his name. But it's the it's those three, right?
Can you hear me?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh no, Keyshawn Davis is who you talking
Davis.
about.
Okay. Yeah, Davis, Shakur, and Tank. People keep saying that these are the best, but first of all, Tank and Davis should be a given. They both in the DMV area. One's in Maryland, one's in Virginia. Easy fight to make. And he already has a set venue, Keyshawn Davis, that holds 10,000 people right there in Virginia.
Okay,
Tank
now did you see?
Tank will
You know what
probably
happened
fight
with
Roach.
Keyshawn, right?
Huh?
I said, you know what happened with Keyshawn, right?
Well, I know
His
he was
last,
supposed to fight and he didn't fight or some garbage like I don't know.
yeah, he missed the weight, and the dude who he was supposed to fight, he said, no, we ain't fighting.
Mhm.
Wait, what did he say? Tank will probably fight Roach, but he wants him
Yeah,
to
yeah,
be.
yeah. I was trying to read. No, 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 brother. Tank and Roach is done. He said he first Tank said he was gonna retire, and from what this brother telling me, and he's supposed to be fighting. What's his name
Jake
again?
Paul.
Jake Paul. To
Yeah,
me,
it's
that's a
it.
punk out. That's a punk out. So he told he told Haney that he was too big. How the hell are you fighting Jake Paul then? He's about a foot taller than you. How are you fighting him?
Hey, Jake Paul just was fighting Mike Tyson at 220 pounds.
Yeah.
You know what? But see that's the part where I always say when they it's a thing with boxing, like they get into the point boxing is getting real WWF ish.
Thank you. It's there already.
Look, like so it's not gonna shock me pretty soon when you got Anoye Inoue talking about fighting Alexander. Now I'm joking with that, but eventually you're gonna see some stuff where you're gonna have the bantamweight trying to fight the super middleweight. Like, come on, man, it's weight
Listen,
class for a reason.
listen, brother. The two greatest fighters of this era, which are Canelo and Crawford, are fighting. I hardly hear about that fight. That's the greatest fight of this era, and I really don't hear about it that much. I'm glad it's on Netflix
Uh,
because I know it's gonna do
now,
good. Because that's
now
the
I'm gonna ask
fight
you a question.
that's uh-huh.
Now you said you rarely hear about that fight.
Yeah, I'm talking about from here, like on the YouTubes. I'm sure out in the real world, people are
Oh,
talking about it. But these so-called YouTube people that's supposed to be all about boxing, they're not touching that, are they? Why? I
you know
did.
what? Look,
Mm-hmm.
I only think, like I told you, like with a lot of the videos and stuff that I used to watch, I don't watch a lot of stuff no more. Look, ever since I gave my life to the Lord, there's a lot of stuff that I used to watch I don't really get into like that. But what I can
You
say with
smart
the
man.
boxing community, I think that a lot of times is because like I don't know, it's like it lost this, it lost the prestige because it went from okay, let's do best versus best to okay, let me fight whoever I want. Then let me fight whoever I need to fight so I can be unbeaten. Okay, let me fight who gonna get me the most money and let me stay unbeaten. Let me fight this guy who's 56 years old and I'm gonna be 22. I'm gonna fight him and we gonna promote this as the biggest fight in boxing. And when I win, I'm already a Hall of Famer. And see, it went from like actually chasing greatness to manufacturing greatness.
Who you talking about?
Look, that's and again, like I said, I'm not gonna speak ill on no fighter, but again, this era you do notice it's a lot of manufactured greatness instead of actual
Yeah,
greatness.
yeah. People deem okay, like the Charlo twins. People were screaming they were great, and I kept telling them no, they're just above average fighters. I don't see anything great about them.
You know what? I think the thing with them with the Charlo twins, I think a lot of people they get upset at them because of the way that they react to things, right? But the one thing is the Jamel, I know at 154, he got one heck of a resume at 154.
Yeah, and he was killing himself to stay there because he walks around at like 180. The only reason why he was staying
Now,
there because his brother wouldn't move up.
now the
That's the
funny
only
part is
reason.
that's like the one thing I was having a conversation like okay, let's go back. We can go to the Bud thing, right? So this is my view on it. So Bud had one 147. He just fought Majimov, right?
At
And
154.
now, yeah, one fight at 154. So what I'm saying is one fight at 54 enough to like really move up? Don't get me wrong, is Bud a special fighter? Yes, but again, what's the old like what always proves true?
He
There are
walks
weight
around at
classes for a reason.
175 though. But he
Yeah,
walks
yeah.
around at 175, so he'll be fine fighting him at that weight.
All that sounds good until that bigger dude hits you.
I think he'll be fine. I tell you why I say that so with so much ease. They're not gonna fight Tank versus Paul. Okay. Well, I tell you why I feel that way. Um, Canelo's very slow of foot. His strength is his upper body movement. So he's not, you know, Bud has like most fighters have problems with movers. Canelo's not a mover. He likes to stay on the ropes, get you on the ropes, and then beat up your body. That's not gonna happen here. It's not. And Bud has them long damn arms on top of that. And he knows what to do in there. He has two very good coaches. He knows what he's doing.
Okay.
But go ahead.
Now,
Hmm.
again, I'm not challenging his skill set. I ain't challenging
Hmm.
that Bud is not a fighter who can adapt. But you not gonna just come from 147, fight one fight at 154, and then jump to 168 and be okay.
What do you think is going to happen? You said that before. What do you about? Oh, okay. What do you mean by okay?
Wait, what happened? Wait, what'd you say?
What do you mean by he's saying it's just going to be okay? You said,
So
yeah,
basically, jump into okay. That's adding 14 pounds, right? So then and I hear what you're saying about oh well, but he naturally walk around at 180, 170. Uh,
175.
all that sounds good in theory, but just because you walk around there, that don't mean you can take a punch. Okay, if if Bud, okay, Bud is kind of to me, he gotta really get the feet. He should have got the feet more wet at 154. The Madrigal fight, honestly, from what I was seeing in that fight, and he did some good things, but Madrigal did a like was doing a really good job of being awkward, landing a lot of really good punches. To me, I'm sitting there like some a few of my boys just reached out to me the other day about this fight, and he was like, "Oh man, I think Canelo is old and this and that, and this may be the time." I was like, "Okay, now look at this." I say now, if we go off of what we seen recently, I think Bud looked old against Madrimov. Now he still won, but I think he looked old that fight.
How yeah, how old is Canelo?
Canelo, I think it's 34 or 35. And I
Oh,
think
okay, yeah.
Bud is my age. I
37.
think he's
He's
38,
30.
37, 38. Yeah.
Yeah, he's 37. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So he's an old man fighting a younger man.
Wait,
He's all right.
hold on. He said, I don't think Bud is special because he's fighting who he knows he can beat.
That's not
That's
true.
that's an interesting point. Now I'm gonna give him some
That's not
credit for
true.
being. Now I'm gonna say this because he and I can be honest about this. I know I picked Arrow to beat him, and I'll be honest
Not
about
me.
that. I
Not
did,
me.
and
Yeah.
I can stand. Like I said earlier when we talked about accountability, I can stand on what I said. I picked Arrow to beat him, and he didn't, and he whooped Arrow pretty badly.
He whooped
Now,
him. He beat him.
Asimov, to me, Asimov has like if you look at that fight was really close. So a swing round or two would have went to Majimov. Majimov would have won.
Well, let me tell you this, right? He didn't avoid anybody, but the PBC just wouldn't let their people fight him. He talked to Thurman. I think Thurman said he wanted 10 million. Who gonna give him 10 million? He's coming off a loss. Then he talked to Danny Garcia. No. So it's not like he was fighting people. How did he know he was gonna beat him in the first place? But they were told not to fight him. If Errol Spence didn't jump up and cut out old boy over here, that fight would have never got made. What's his name? Smooth Cat.
Wait, who are you talking about?
If Errol Spence didn't cut out the main man over there at PBS, this fight PBC, this fight wouldn't have got made. What's his
Who you,
name?
who you talking about? Thurman?
No, Errol Spence had to cut out the main man at PBC so the fight could get made with Bud. Who's the main man at the PBC? What's his name?
Oh, you
He's a
talking
guy.
about wait, Al Heyman.
Yeah, he cut him out, and he
No,
and
no,
they made
he
the
didn't he
fight
didn't he
together.
didn't he didn't cut him out.
Yeah, he did.
No,
He
wait a
told
minute.
him that he wanted to
Arrow,
fight.
you
Errol
know
told
what,
him he wanted
Picasso?
to fight.
Hold on, you know what, Picasso? Hey, I I can kind of agree with that he knew he wasn't 100% thing because before he walked in the ring, I'm like, why he looking like that? But he he
He wasn't
stepped in that ring,
100%.
and if you wasn't 100%, he shouldn't have stepped in there.
He wasn't 100% in what way?
Oh, he's
Can you hear me?
the accidents and all the stuff that happened with him. He's talking about the
That
accidents and
oh,
stuff that happened.
okay, but he had two or three fights prior to the accident. I mean, after the accident,
Man, you know what?
he had two or three fights after the accident, and he
But so
won.
the one thing I'm gonna say, I think that
Mhm.
honestly, I think this fight with Bud and Canelo, and I said it ever since it got announced. I said, I said it's you gonna have some really fun moments, but you gonna have that moment where where Canelo gonna hit Bud, and he gonna hit him with something that he ain't ready for, and he gonna have to make a choice, and that choice is either I'm gonna stand on my guard and fight you back, or I'm gonna retreat, or either you gonna knock me out, and you gonna have to make a
There's a
choice.
third choice.
I said three already.
What was the third one?
I said either he gonna stand there and fight, either he gonna retreat, or either he gonna battle and end up getting stopped.
One of them's the same. Two of
Arrow
them
was
are
going to
different.
lose, but he said to himself he didn't expect to lose that bad.
Well, let me say this, right? Here's the third option. He could just hold him and then constantly move with his jab till his head clear and hold him if he
So
gets that hurt.
don't that one dude? I think he got this rule. They got these little rules that they talking about, and I know
Excessive
the
holding.
yeah, no, that you can't do excessive moving with
No,
that
he
with
no, he's gonna do what Floyd do. Jab, jab, pot shot, hold him. Jab, jab, pot shot, hold him.
that ain't Terrence game though.
If you get hurt, then that's what you're taught to do.
That ain't his game.
No,
Okay,
no, 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 no. He's a
what does Bud do
professional
when he hurt?
boxer. You
Okay,
can't
but
say you can't say that's not his game.
Okay,
Fight
wait.
fighters are
What does
taught to do
Bud do
that.
when he get hurt? What does Bud do when he get hurt?
I've never seen him hurt.
Yes, you
Fighters are
have.
taught to
You
do
done
that.
seen him hurt a
No,
few
no, no, no,
times.
no, no. I've seen him dropped. That
Right,
doesn't.
we all
But
seen
I've
him
never
drop,
seen him
but we done
hurt.
seen him hurt too.
Who hurt him? The other boy at 135.
He hurt him. He got hurt versus the one dude at 147.
Who?
So Mean Machine or something like that. I
He
think his
dropped
name
him. Yeah,
is.
that's the one I'm talking about. He dropped him.
But that's what. But I said when he got hurt, what did Bud do? He did what he
He won the
always do.
fight. He won the fight
He
like he
won the
always
fight.
did.
No, no, I'm
Yeah,
not
that's
arguing
that's
that.
the most important thing. Winning.
But now. So, but what that's doing is that's masking it because that ain't what he
Masking
do when he
what?
hurt.
He
That's
masking
masking
that fight.
the it's masking the flaw because the flaw is when he gets hurt, he stands in there and he tries to out battle you.
But fight, okay, but there's no flaw. I mean, fighters
That
are
is a
different. You
flaw.
no no no. Listen. You were taught to do something, but if it's your
Mhm.
normal, Larry Holmes was the same way. He was taught to do something. If he got hit and hurt, he was taught over and over again. And what did he do when he got hit and hurt? He fought, and he got up and won. Most every time he did that, it's something in your nature. You got to be in there. Something in your nature takes over when you really get hurt, and that nature takes over, and you do what comes natural to you. But there's no fighter alive that's never been hit and hurt.
Right.
There's
Okay.
not
Look.
one.
So for instance, right now, kind of what you're talking about. Hopefully, I can give you a good visual of the points you was just making. Right. You
Arrow,
remember when Tim Bradley and what's my boy Ruslan
the
Provodnikov was
Russian,
fighting? Yeah.
yeah,
And you remember, dude basically knocked Bradley out, but Bradley was so determined not to
right,
go down
right.
that he kept fighting even when he was out. And so
Yeah, I've seen
but
that
what I'm
happen
saying
before.
is nowadays with all this stuff that has happened, now they get to the point to where a referee will jump in and stop the fight a lot quicker now than they would have then because all this like a lot of fighters are potentially getting permanently damaged. So I'm saying if Bud tries that, let's say if he gets hurt like that, if Bud get hurt where he wobbling around the ring and he just getting hit, they're gonna stop the fight. They're not gonna let him
No,
sit there and just
nah,
get beat on.
no, no, they're not.
Okay, wait. Troy
They're
wants to
not gonna
win the
stop the
Bud
fight.
versus Arrow argument, but I'm saying
There's
even
nothing to win. The fight's been
wait,
over
what
for
did he say?
years.
Wait, what did he say? Even Arrow
I don't
admitted after
know.
the fight that he wasn't expecting to lose so badly. You win, Troy. I'm just
No,
stating
but
facts.
that fight has been over for years, so you can't really say anything about that. Now this Bud
No,
getting
no,
hurt.
that's what the guy in the comments said.
Yeah, yeah,
Mr.
yeah, yeah,
Picasso.
yeah, yeah, yeah. But listen, what I'm saying is this fight is we don't see him get hurt and beat up and all that stuff for a reason. And we haven't seen the same thing with Alvarez get hit and beat up for the same reasons. Both of them are damn good fighters. No one has ever hurt and beat the hell out of hurt them and then beat them up. Nobody. Out of both of them, neither one of them has been beat up.
Mhm.
None of them have been beat up. None of them. You know, Errol was hurt. Yeah, and what did he do? Win. That's all that matters. He won. So I don't see either one of them beating up the other one. I think what it comes down to is the later rounds and who does the most in the later rounds. But it's gonna be a good fight. I just these so-called boxing dudes on here not even talking about this fight. I don't really pay attention to the sport that much either. I got more important things going on. But I have to jump off here, brother. I gotta get up early in the morning. But look, I appreciate you jumping on, man, at the last minute for me. I appreciate you. Can you still hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, and also, brother Picasso, man, appreciate you always supporting Mark Nash, Mark Nash. Thanks for coming through, man. I appreciate it. And everybody that's watching, peeping in, peeping out, appreciate all of you as well. The brother, I'm gonna try and get the brother on that. I had a boxer that I was gonna come on, but his story is so compelling, man. He had a stroke 3 weeks before he was supposed to go for a championship fight, and that pretty much ended his career. But let me jump off here, good brother. It was good. It was good hearing from you, man. Mike, I don't know if you can still hear me. Uh-oh. Mike, his phone. All right, brother. I don't know if I'm gonna be here Friday because Thursday I'm gonna have a procedure. No, Friday I'm having a procedure. So I don't know if I'll be here Friday or not, but depends on how I feel after my procedure. But all right, good brother. Thank you for always supporting Brother Picasso. And thank you, Smooth Cat and Martin Ash. Thank you both. All right.